Earth. 71% of our home is covered in a vast, humongous, colossal blanket of H2O. Think about it. We are dependent on the ocean and what it brings. But what if the ocean fails us, gives up on us like trash? It's scary, right? I know. Today, we are going to find out what the future of the beautiful Big Blue looks like. Together with expert Maria Time, we are going to discover the dark secret that flows around us every day. I am Bo Strand, and this is BCB News Special, Bad and Blue. On a serious note though, what is the general problem we are facing here? Acidic oceans. We all know what acids are. They are the things that make things sour, often connected to bases, which make things bitter. Take lemon juice as an example. When you bite into a lemon, you will most probably cringe by the sour taste, as the lemon juice contains its own natural acids, which result in this awfully sour taste. Acid does not only affect our food, but also our environment. Landscapes, small ecosystems, and ponds, everything can be affected by acids. Many changes caused by acids are often small, but in other cases, it can lead to destruction and death. Many small ponds stand empty of fish due to a high level of acids in the water. But a small pond somewhere in the middle of nowhere will not affect us that badly, right? You might ask yourself. Maybe that will not affect us that badly, but what about the whole ocean? Since the beginning of Earth's time, the ocean have maintained a quite stable acidity level. It is within this environment we can find blooming and varied marine life, as broad as it is colorful. However, numerous recent studies prove that this Asian balance is changing drastically, all because of, or mostly, us humans. The ocean's pH level has dropped rapidly for the past 200 years, and devastating global consequences will follow, and they will not be pretty. But what is the main source to this problem? Let us go back in time a bit, shall we? Ever since the Industrial Revolution that ruled the early 1800s, fossil-driven fuel has been a modern man's best friend when it comes to industrial service, transportation, and advancement overall. But every bright side has a dark side, and unfortunately, consequences will always follow whatever the topic is. In this case, it does not look good. We all know that global warming, the process where Earth is getting warmer because of an ever-rising temperature due to different gases, is on the rise. Even though we only hear the bad things about the greenhouse effect, we often forget how important it actually is. The annual temperature on Earth would have been minus 18 degrees Celsius if the greenhouse effect did not exist, which is a drastic downgrade from comparison to the 15 Celsius degrees we have as an average today. However, the temperature is rising, which will give a lot of negative effects to our Earth, and especially the ocean. How, you ask? Well, the ocean absorbs a lot of the carbon dioxide we find in our air, about 30 to 40% to be exact. That is a lot of polluted air basically going with the ocean flow. This will, of course, heat up the ocean, which can be unbearable for certain types of species. This will also lead to more steam-forming clouds and more wind, thus leading to a major increase in extreme weather, even in places where extreme weather is not that common, such as Sweden and the rest of Scandinavia. But really, is it that big of a problem? After a quick thought, some would say, meh, the ocean doesn't really matter as long as we still can get our water and food resources from there as normal, right? This is where they are completely wrong, as we will stand face to face with fatal problems if we do not change our behaviors. Our transportation, food production, industries, and even our own bodies produce carbon dioxide, which not only speeds up global warming, but makes the air more acidic, therefore making the ocean more acidic. An example, did you really need to take your car to work today? The weather is clear, it is warm, and it only takes you 15 minutes. Is it really necessary for you to take a seat in your car? Absolutely not. You're healthy enough to use your legs. But then again, why is this a problem? Well, the problem is that it will ruin our whole relationship to the resources we receive from the ocean. What are the consequences of our ocean dropping in pH levels? Some of the many consequences that automatically will follow due to these drastic changes are eliminated wildlife. That little acidic pond we talked about earlier, picture the aftermath of that on the scale of our whole percentage of water on Earth. Great Barrier Reef, located on the outside coast of Australia, is a prime example showing us how marine life is fading away, quicker and quicker for each day that passes. Corals and plants die, making it impossible for small fish, shellfish, and similar animals to find shelter to breed and feed in. Then they will die out, leaving predators without food, thus killing them off as well. Big parts of the Great Barrier Reef is now completely ruined, left to rot. An underwater ghost town, to be exact. If the ocean continues to change its pH levels, we will see the underwater ghost town evolve, leaving the ocean dead silent, colorless, and poisonous. Not only is the thought of it scary, but it will also take its toll on land animals. Fish eaters on land will lose an important food source, thus leading to a constant struggle looking for something else to eat. Well, what about humans? Sure, we can survive without fish, but what about the water? A human can only survive 2 to 3 days without water, but if the water becomes too dangerous to drink, there's no hope left for us. Sure, we have factories who filters and cleanses our water to make it drinkable, right? However, the water we have to deal with today is nothing unlike the water we might have to deal with in the future. And considering our resources, there's no way there's even a chance that we will be able to stabilize the acidic levels enough for years to come. Think about all the poor people we have in our world today. Every day, thousands of people die of dehydration, especially in Africa and Asia, where water resources can be hard to find or to even buy if you are financially unstable. The water they manage to get their hands on is very dirty, and many people become sick instantly after drinking it. Picture how this will look like in the future. We will not be able to even drink the water at all. Will we risk our life whenever we need to drink? That is a really scary thought. In the end, what are the possible solutions we have for solving this problem and stabilize the ocean back to its normal state? To get ahead with us over a directly sent interview, we have marine and wildlife expert Maria Time, who will discuss the topic further.
Thank you, Maria Time, for coming here and discussing this topic with us. Thank you, it's my pleasure to be here. So, what's the cause of the acidification of the ocean? Well, to put it simply, acidity in the ocean occurs when carbon dioxide from the air dissolves into the ocean, which then causes the pH of the seawater to decrease, since carbon dioxide combined with water creates carbonic acid, which is a low pH chemical. So, how concerned should we be about this problem? Currently the pH of the ocean is around 8.1 or so, which seems fairly okay, but it is actually dropped by 0.1 pH units, which represents a 25% overall increase of acidity in the ocean since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. And surprisingly, the rate of this change is 10 times faster than any time in the last 15 million years or so. So if carbon dioxide keeps being released in the current pace, it's surely going to become as big of a problem as climate change, if even worse. The corrosion that the acidification causes will affect many calcifying marine species, such as corals or plankton, that won't be able to produce their protective shells and skeleton. But here's the thing, it's kind of difficult to tell exactly what could happen if the ocean continues to acidify, but since the pH of the ocean affects a tremendous amount of marine organisms, the wildlife of ocean biomes will become dramatically different because of two reasons. The acidification will subsequently impact the entire food chain, and this new state of the environment will favor other types of species, such as algae and seagrass, that actually profit from the increase of CO2. So in the long run, the status of our entire biosphere will nevertheless change significantly, since the ocean plays such a comprehensive role in the ecosystems of our planet. Okay, so what are the long-term solutions for this? The most impactful long-term solution is essentially to cut down carbon dioxide emissions, since it's really the only main cause of the acidification, and it also has to be done now so the ocean can manage to recover before any fatal or irreversible consequences occur. I think the Paris Agreement, which, as you know, promises to reduce greenhouse emissions, has the potential to stop or even reverse ocean acidification if the UN countries keep their promises, of course. Stopping deforestation and planting more trees could also reduce the intake of carbon dioxide in the ocean, since, as you might know, forests absorb a large amount of carbon dioxide through the process of photosynthesis. Thank you, Maria-Time, for enlightening us on this topic.
After circulating all these thoughts and ideas into your tight student mind, what are your final thoughts? Do you think we can be able to save the ocean and its wildlife in time? Only time will tell, but in the meantime we need to act quickly. The time of the ocean is running out, and our lifestyle is just pushing the clock to go faster. But with proper planning, fast actions, and proper care, we can secure the ocean from the destruction, because if we do not, it might be the end of Mother Earth as a whole.
Ocean Man.